Nithyanandam, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So today I want to share with you an experience that I had yesterday, and I started sharing after the unclutching session, but now I can give more details about it. So it is a success story that I want to share with you and explain how the whole thing happened, basically. So Swamiji in the past few satsangs has started to really reveal in depth about the science of immortality, the science of Kayakalpa yoga, and really revealing so many secrets to all of us. And so one of the things that he has been telling us, it's not the first time he tells, but this is really important for if we want to master the science of immortality, and that is dry fasting, being able to do the dry fasting. And so this is basically, yesterday was basically the second time in my life where I successfully completed a full cycle, so 24 hours. The first time that it happened, I basically did it for someone else. It was not for me that I was doing, but someone that I knew and that I really care about was actually very ill and undergoing a surgery. And so I connected to Swamiji and prayed to Swamiji and asked him, telling that, you know, I know that every single being has to go through their journey towards awakening and towards reaching you. But if there's something I can do to help that being heal faster, please show me. And in that moment, it was so instant. Instantly, I heard Swamiji telling, stop eating, stop drinking. So I knew that he was telling, okay, dry fasting. And dry fasting has never been something that I have, get excited about. Whenever I hear Swamiji telling dry fasting, a big part of me is saying, no, 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 no. And I had basically never done it to that point. But because I was in that context of truly, sincerely wanting to do, I was ready to do anything that Swamiji showed to help that being heal. And so when Swamiji revealed that, I said, actually, I was sitting in front of I was sitting right here, actually, exactly like this. And for a few minutes, it was going back and forth in my mind, like, am I even going to be successful at this? Like, if I declare I'm going to do it, then I have to do it. Am I even going to be successful? And then the doubts were coming and all that. And then I reminded myself that, okay, this is to heal that being. This is not even for me. This is for that other being. And that gave me the strength. That gave me the strength to say, yes, I'm doing it. And I'll stick to it. I'll do it. And at that very second, it's funny how Paramashivam always tests our will. At that very second, my brother actually came knocking on the door. And at the time, he had made some vegan pizza, like a homemade vegan pizza. And for the first time ever, like this had never happened. And he knocked on the door and basically telling like, hey, I made this for you. Just at the second that I decided I was doing dry fasting, the test came like that. And the whole house was smelling so amazing. And so I said, no, I cannot fall for this. I just declared, I just looked at the pizza, I looked at it and it, looked so amazing, but I said, no, I'm going to stick to my conscious decision. And so basically I was successful actually not only for 24 hours, for 36 hours dry fasting. That means no liquid, not even water. So that was the first time. And after that, I never did it. I never did it again. So till that point, I had never done it just for myself. And so recently Swamiji has been telling, do dry fasting. And this big part of me is saying, no, 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 no. And so Swamiji is saying, so many parasites are sitting inside the stomach. And so it is basically the parasite saying, no, 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 don't do it. We don't want it. And at the same time, I can also hear my higher self speaking to me, my higher self telling me, yes, Swatantra Priya, you have to master this spiritual practice also. Because the real freedom, Swatantra, is not just like, like society makes us believe like, oh, I have all these options, all these food options in front of me. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want. No, that is not the real freedom. The real freedom is basically saying that, okay, when I want to eat, I eat from a space of completion. Whenever I say I don't want to eat, then I don't eat, also from a space of completion. And so both both sides need to be there for real freedom to be there. Otherwise, we're nothing but a slave. So actually, society's idea of freedom is slavery, but we don't see it. But Master is there, Guru is there to show us the truth. So when Swamiji said 2 days ago, doing dry fasting and all that, I said, okay, let me do it. Because I've also understood from experience that whenever Master infuses the inspiration inside the being, that is the most auspicious time to do it. We should never wait. When that inspiration to do is there, you should just make that declaration, stick to it, and just do it. Because in that moment of when the inspiration is there, Master is there, like is so present, just holding you every step of the way, and so you will be successful. So as soon as Swamiji said that, I said, okay, I'm doing the 24 hours. And so that happened. And what I want to share is that at the very end, I had like 4 hours left. The mind started really attacking me. So many thoughts were coming. And in that moment, I was experiencing, it felt like such a struggle and such a tantrum was happening. And what I was sharing is that at the end of unclutching session, what I was sharing is that, see, because of unclutching, because Swamiji has made me do like unclutching sessions for so many hours now, like probably more than 500 hours now. See, unclutching is truly a power because it allows us to be unclutched, to have that distance, to witness the whole happening instead of being absorbed in it and just being a pawn and, you know, being tossed one way or the other. We're able to actually, have a distance and observe the whole thing for what it is and not being caught by it. So what I was able to observe, I was able to see the different ways in which the mind, which is so cunning, it has so many strategies that it will try to basically make us sabotage our highest conscious possibility. But when we have the power of unclutching, we are able to see everything and basically not fall for these tricks. And what I was able to see is that there's one way the mind tries, and that is the most obvious way, according to my experience, is that really like aggressive, straightforward tantrum where you feel like that anger, frustration, irritation, aggravation, and it's like inside of you, parasites are basically screaming, I want to eat, I want food, why am I doing this? Like this kind of behavior and thoughts, that is easier to see and also easier to handle because it's so obvious. And then I was able to see another way that the mind tries, and it is so sneaky because it feels nurturing. It feels like the mind is on our side and, you know, petting us and trying to take care of us. And basically I started seeing thoughts like, hey, and it has a soft tone also. It's not this harsh, aggressive tone. It's like, you've done it for already like 20 hours. You've done it for 20 hours. It's okay. You've done so good. You've done it for 20 hours. And it almost tries to make us believe that we have done it. When in fact I had not done it because I had declared 24 hours, but the mind is trying to make me feel like, no, 20 hours, it's great. It's amazing. And so I was able to see that also and not fall for it. And so that 24 hours was successful. One more thing I want to share, something that really helped me, is I kept remembering the story that Swamiji told about Mouna Swami, who is an amazing, such a powerful yogi who basically did not need any solid food, any liquid to live. He would live off prana. And what he would do, and it's such a beautiful story, and truly, he truly helped me to get through this journey, this 24-hour journey of dry fasting. So Swamiji was telling how this Swami, Mouna Swami, would basically sit next to a tree. Like Swamiji was explaining that each tree has a breathing space in which it shares its scent, its flowers, its fruits. So Mouna Swami was sitting nearby in that circumference, in the breathing space of a very special tree, from which radiated such a sweet smell, like the sweetest smell. And when Swamiji went up to him and asked him, like, why are you picking this place? Like, why that spot? Swami explained to Swamiji how this tree, like the sweetness of that tree, just the scent was enough. See, basically Swami was doing pranayama in the breathing space of that tree, and basically the sweet fragrance of the tree was going inside his being and basically giving the sugar that was necessary, the glucose that was necessary for the internal organs to function. So that is how he used to live, out of prana, and doing pranayama in the breathing space of that tree. And that sweetness was there, and he was able to live like that, which is such an extraordinary possibility. It is possible for all of us. And basically that is the visualization that helped me. And it was not the first time that I saw his picture, Mouna Swami's picture. The first time I saw his picture, I really felt like I knew him. I have always felt so connected. It's such a close way. Like I know him, like I know his being. And so when Swamiji was telling the story, I was experiencing his experience as my own experience. And then when I was sharing with my brother actually said something that also completely opened up a new possibility, like a new way of cognizing my own existence. And when I was sharing with him that my being felt so connected to his being, Mouna Swami's being, and his experience with his tree, my brother was telling like, oh, well, see, maybe you were that yogi in a past life. And then he said something else. Then he said, or maybe you were that tree that would ensure that, this amazing yogi would be able to live that way. You were that tree that would just give him all the sweetness that he needed. And when he said that, it gave me such a different experience, like a new experience, basically expanded my consciousness, and feeling the experience, my own existence as this tree, like being the provider, being the one who ensures the sustenance by making sure that all the beings who come into his breathing space are fully nourished and taken care of and attended to. And so that was so beautiful. And that's my story, that's my experience. And I realized that, see, in the beginning, all this struggle might be there. But as soon as we do it, it becomes part of our muscle memory, bio memory. And it gives so much confidence to the being, like, yes, this is possible for me. Yes, I can do it. And so the next time around we try, then our being already knows, already has that confidence. Yes, I've done it. It's possible for me. And at some point, I feel like the words, the convincing words, are not even necessarily needed anymore, because it is part of our muscle memory and bio memory. So whenever we decide, we declare, I'm doing this, then simply the whole cosmos aligns to support, and the mind just gives way because it understands, has no more power over us. And truly, going back to unclutching is really that power that allows us to see the play of the mind and not fall for it, so that we can actually experience our highest possibility instead of sabotaging it. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Nithyanandam.